Hi everyone, it's Janet Wakeland here with remarkablycreated.com. In today's One Take Wonder video, I'm going to show you a few tips for using Aquapainters with your blender pens or with your ink pads, with your markers or your ink pads. And we're going to make this sweet little card here. One of the cards that I seem to need a lot of lately is Sympathy cards, and boy, those are just heart-wrenching to do, but in all honesty, they're one of my favorites to make, just to take that extra time to put a little bit of extra love into a card for somebody who's really just suffered a devastating loss. It's a hard card to make, but yet it's one of my favorites. So we're going to be working with the In the Meadow stamp set with the pretty little deer, the mountains, the trees, great little greeting with it. And then I'm actually going to use the Greatest Greeting stamp set. You've seen me feature this on a couple of different stamp sets. I love that it fills in a lot of the needs that we have, and it just has a simply "I'm so sorry." A lot of times that's really the only words that you have to offer somebody is that "I'm so sorry," and I'll pray for you. So I'm going to use that. So let's go ahead and let's make this card together. So what we have is we have a quarter sheet of our green cardstock, let me say this right, Cucumber Crush. I was going to call it something else that we no longer have. So this is our Cucumber Crush cardstock. I have a piece of our Whisper White cardstock that is cut down just a little bit smaller. We're going to go ahead and fold that in half. And instead of making this a whole card, this is like a panel. A lot of times people will call this a panel card. And then it's designed just so that it will layer around just like that. And we'll set that aside. We're going to start with our archival black ink. Let me move some of this stuff aside for right now. And let's pull our pretty deer to start with. And let's grab a block to work with. I want a better size block. This one's a great one. And we're just going to ink it up really, really good. A lot of times I like to teach my customers that if it's a new stamp and the first time you've ever used it, to introduce yourself to it by just stamping it on the piece of 11 by 17 practice paper I put out for you, just so you can get a feel, make sure it's lined up on your stamp the way that you want it to be. And then the other thing is that you can use the grid paper to help you. So if I say stamp it up about 1 inch on the card, you can use these measurements to help you. So I love our 11 by 17 grid paper. I keep a stash of it in the house at all times because I can't imagine being without it. So there you've got your beautiful deer. And so then the next thing, we'll take the nice tall trees that are part of that. I recently did a video for you on the clear blocks and the fact that they're a great purchase during celebration with their storage caddy. So you might want to look for that. I had a little special offer to go along with it. And I'm going to turn my paper sideways just because I'm working with a long stamp, and it's just going to work for me better to look at it that way. And I'm just kind of looking to line that off to the side. So this is what I have as my beginner image, and I'll set those aside till I can wash them after the video is over. And while I'm just stamping ink and have that all out, I'm going to go ahead and let's grab our greeting. And again, it's the "I'm so sorry" greeting. And you can see where it really helps to have the right size block for the image that you're working with. You guys are going to laugh at me. There we go. And I'm just going to stamp that on a scrap of piece of white paper. This is our washi tape punch. And we'll just punch that out. And we'll have that for later. But now while I have our Cucumber Crush pad, I'm going to give it a light squeeze. And what that does is that transfers ink up here to the lid of your pad. We have Aquapainters that we sell as a set. They have 2 different size tips. These just happen to be filled with water. And I'm going to go ahead and just give a little bit of a squeeze and put a little bit of water in my lid. And now I have a little bit of a watercolor palette that I can work with, and I can just start to go over that. The archival ink won't run, so it's great for using with watercoloring. And you're just going to go over and just add that little bit of color. And I like this because I am not good at coloring and I don't stay in the lines, but this makes me feel kind of artsy. So I love this look. It's kind of a fun little look to have. And I'm just going to come up in here. And a lot of times I'll start light because you can always kind of go back in a little bit if you want. And all I'm doing is just adding some little bit of green to the branches. And I kept this simple, just kind of 2 tones. It's really more about the message and the sympathy and the thoughts and the prayers that I'm sending. So I really wanted this just to be nice and simple. So I have that going on. Now, maybe you don't own all of Stampin' Up's pads. I know some people actually don't, and I respect that. A great way to have all of the colors, though, is by having the markers. Takes up less space. And what's nice about the markers, again, is that you're going to be able to color in, you're going to be able to color directly on your stamps, or you're going to be able to use them for watercoloring as well. I have one of our clear blocks, and I'm going to take a marker, and I'm just going to swish it right across that clear block, just like that. And now I can take my Aqua Painter. I'm going to just kind of clean off the tip here by squishing water through it, and just get it all nice and clean. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up the colors from here. And now I can start to color my deer. I made their bellies a little bit darker. So when you have your markers, again, you have a lot of options. Our markers are sold in the color family, so in a set of 10 or in a set of 5 of the in colors, or you can buy all 40 of our colors at once, all of our core colors. So that's just an option for you. I'll add a little color on there. On Mama's neck there, a little bit. And now I just want to go really, really light. Let's get some of this going off over here. Just want a little bit, see? Practice over here, make sure it's as light as I want it to be. I want it almost all gone. There we go. Just a little bit, come back in here so it's a little bit lighter. You're just going to add your colors like that. We'll set that aside and you just rinse that off with water, so that's a great thing to do. And then I want to add ribbon to this. Now because this card opens on the inside, I don't want that to end here. So I'm going to put just a little bit of adhesive right here on the front, and I'll put the end of my ribbon there. I'm going to bring it around the inside because I don't mind having a black strip of ribbon showing something. I just didn't want the ends showing. And I'll press that down into the adhesive. We'll give that a little cut just like that. We're going to take our dimensionals. We'll put one on either side of our greeting. And a lot of times I like to use dimensionals when I'm adding a greeting over top of ribbon because it's going to sometimes push up anyway just a little bit. So there we have our greeting. Let's turn it over and add lots of adhesive so it stays together. Grab our cucumber crush. There you go. And now you can stamp another message on the inside or write a really heartfelt. And don't do what I did. Oh my gosh, I twisted the ribbon. I'm so sorry about that. Thank goodness I'll take it apart and fix it. But make sure your ribbon's not twisted. Write your message and sign your name and send a beautiful, sweet message to someone that really needs just a touch of love. Thanks for watching the video today, guys. Take care and God bless.